Hello and thanks for tuning in for THV 11 News at noon. I'm Jurnee Taylor and we are nearing the end of the THV 11 Summer Cereal Drive. And THV 11 meteorologist Tom Brannon is in the middle of Saline County Showdown. Tom, who's winning right now? Has it been friendly? Has it been competitive? Talk about the cereal.
Jurnee, we can't cheat and tell you that right now. You got to wait till 12:30. But all of Saline County is a winner. I'll tell you, we're north of 10K when it comes to cereal and donations. Even Heidi the cow approves. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Highland Dairy. We want to thank everyone for coming out, making a difference in the community. The city of Benton, Bryant, the judge of Saline County came out. Got to thank our food providers. U.S. Pizza just brought lunch. Thank you. Nieces and the Blue House Bakery brought breakfast. I do want to mention real quick, we're going to talk to C. John in a moment. They're one of the recipients of the cereal. They are in Benton, and Healing Waters Outreach is in Bryant. You still have time to come drop a box of cereal. We're at the Kroger Marketplace until 12:30 today here in Saline County. Come see us. Back to you, Jurnee.
All right, Tom, thank you. Tracy, what I love so much about Tom is that with each shot, he has something different on. Sunglasses, a hat, and today, did you see the fan around his neck?
It depends on the temperature, it depends on the sun, all of the things. Yeah, he's always prepared. He's got a little bag he takes with him, I think. Well, we started out this morning a little rowdier than I would have liked. Mother Nature had a little surprise for us. Most of those showers and thunderstorms that were in northwest Arkansas were anticipated to die out before they got to central Arkansas, but some of those storms just held on, and as they reached our warm, more saturated air here in central Arkansas, we had a few fire up. But good news, most of that is out of here, although we are starting to see a bit of development in southern Arkansas. So again, some of these storms as we're heading into the evening could be strong to even severe at times, but we'll talk more about that here in a few minutes. 83 already in central Arkansas. We're seeing some 90s there in the southern portion of the state. Across the day, we are looking for that high today right around 90, 91. That heat index value could reach 100. So again, make sure you're drinking the water and staying hydrated. We're going to continue to see the potential for some of those storms again to be strong to severe as we're heading into the evening and overnight hours. So the Storm Prediction Center does have us in that 2 out of 5 category, but we're going to time everything out and I'll let you know everything you need to know for the rest of the day coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right, Tracy, thank you. Well, the city of Little Rock has named its 11th city director. Directors voted in the city's fire chief, Delphone Hubbard, at its meeting last night. He's served as fire chief since 2018. He also took on the role of acting city manager back in April. Hubbard will fill the vacancy left by longtime director Bruce Moore, more than a year and a half after Moore passed away. Also happening at the council meeting last night, a heated battle over where to allow group homes in the city. 2 neighborhood groups have hired lawyers to challenge previous approvals, and those lawyers appear to have won the battle. THV 11's Catherine Rowley reports on what the board decided after tempers boiled over.
The density is just too much for a neighborhood to bear.
Density, parking, and the impact on traffic. Those were the 3 main concerns neighbors had about 2 separate group homes on Woodward and Monroe Street. Kyle Brewer, who is in recovery, voiced how important resources like the homes operated by Sunlight Sober Living can be.
And in particular in the state of Arkansas, these resources are scarce, and I would be strongly opposed to taking away any other options for individuals coming out of treatment facilities.
But another neighbor against the permit explained the parking problem the homes create in an area already dealing with limited space.
So parking is also problematic. As my neighbor mentioned, it's one side of the street. A lot of these are 100-year-old homes that have no driveways in the front or parking for their teenagers' cars, so they all end up parking on the street.
Another neighbor adding that these complaints have nothing to do with the work being done at Sober Living.
In no way are any of us opposed to the mission of these homes. They do great work. No one denies that. Our simple concerns are the density, the number of people. I don't want to live across the street from 11 school teachers. I don't want to live across the street from 11 ministers. I don't want to live across the street from 11 city directors.
Well, Sunlight Sober Living does have 2 additional homes in the area, but they must have 4 or less residents. Meanwhile, another legal fight brewing between the Arkansas Prison Board and the state leaders and state leaders continues to get messier. The board is suing Governor Sarah Sanders and other state officials, claiming new laws unfairly took away its authority over prison operations. Well, to file that lawsuit, the board hired a private attorney, but Attorney General Tim Griffin, siding with the governor, sued the board, saying that hire violated FOIA rules. Griffin says the board can have a lawyer, but only if the governor approves who it is. So in other words, the governor gets to sign off on the attorney arguing against her own power. Well, now it's up to the governor to decide whether the board can keep its current lawyer, which Griffin says it never legally hired, or be forced to find someone new. Well, now at noon, a group working to strengthen ballot rights for Arkansans has now turned into a revised proposal. The group Protect Our Rights is trying to overturn new laws from the 2025 session that make passing citizen-led measures harder. Attorney General Tim Griffin rejected the group's first draft, saying it failed to meet a new standard of having an 8th grade reading level, which is among the new laws passed. Griffin has until July 1st to approve or deny this new version. He has already approved a separate but similar measure after the authors submitted multiple revised versions. Well, the conflict between Israel and Iran enters its 6th day as President Trump calls for Iran's unconditional surrender, something that the country's supreme leader rejected in a new address to his nation. As Natalie Brand reports, it comes as the Trump administration is weighing whether to get involved.
Israel's military says it struck around 20 targets in Tehran overnight, prompting thousands to flee. In Israel, sirens blared as missiles were intercepted over the skies of the port city of Haifa.
We cannot let Iran get a nuclear weapon. I've been saying it for a long time.
President Trump took questions Wednesday morning with new flagpoles going up at the White House. Sources tell CBS News he's considering joining Israel in striking Iran's nuclear facilities, which could include Fordo, buried deep in a mountain.
I may do it, I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble.
Sources tell CBS News there's not agreement among the president's closest advisors about next steps. Today, the president was also asked about his social media post calling for unconditional surrender by Iran's supreme leader.
Unconditional surrender. That means I've had it. Okay, I've had it. I give up. No more.
In a recorded video, the Ayatollah said any military involvement by the U.S. would cause, quote, irreparable damage.
The Iranian regime has been just devastated.
H.R. McMaster served as a national security advisor during the first administration.
The effects that Israel's had, I mean, of course, we've been talking about the effects on the nuclear program, on the missile program, but I think they've killed something like 15 or so, nuclear scientists and decapitated the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps.
CBS News has learned Israel did not request that the U.S. join its effort militarily, leaving that choice to President Trump. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Well, the Diamond Hogs are now just 2 wins away from making it to the College World Series Finals. TV11's Nick Luttrell is in Omaha, where the Razorbacks got another must-win last night. Nick?
Well, it wasn't quite as thrilling as the no-hitter, but the outcome in last night's game still the same. Arkansas, an elimination game, taking down UCLA 7-3, the final score. And on a big stage and in a big moment, just like on Monday afternoon, Arkansas had its stars show out. Last night, it was Vahiva Aloy. The Golden Spikes finalists had quite the day against the Bruins. A 2-run homer in the second, an RBI triple in the fifth, to help the Razorbacks stay alive one more day here in Omaha.
You know, I'm just glad that we scored more runs, and obviously it was a little better tonight to hit in the ballpark. It's not as humid, and wind was blowing different directions, but it wasn't stopping the ball like it was the other day. At this time of year, we're just working on what we do every day and try to put together a good game plan and advance. So here we are.
So the challenge for the Razorbacks gets a little bit tougher, as tonight they'll have a rematch with LSU, the same Tigers team that beat them on Saturday night here at Charles Schwab Field. That game's set for 6 o'clock on ESPN. And should Arkansas win the game tonight, they'll They'll have to turn around Thursday and beat LSU one more time in order for the Razorbacks to advance to the College World Series Finals.
THV 11 Summer Serial Showdown in Saline County. Benton versus Bryant versus the rest of Saline County.